Hey guys, what's up? So coming to you with another Saturday Smackdown. I'm joined today by Samwise12.
Yeah, boy!
Who will be my co-caster. Interjection is MIA, missing in action, not here, as it were. And Sam has gladly accepted the challenge of casting with me, so...
Snap that right out.
Just jumped at it. Just jumped at the opportunity to cast the one and only Zutazuta. Siberia is going to be the first map. Today's matchup, Bobabu and Optimus Prime. I've seen Bobabu play. He got, I think, to like the round of 16 or something in the current tournament, and then was knocked out. And I've never actually seen Optimus Prime play, but he offered to play, and the PRs lined up well with the current players, and so I said, sure. Like, sounds like a good matchup to me. So. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be Bobabu versus Optimus Prime today for Saturday Smackdown in this best of 7 series. And I think we're just about ready to get started. So I guess I can pull up the scoreboard. There we go. There's a scoreboard. And without any further ado, I think we can get started.
Is this the right map?
Yep, Siberia. Siberia's always the first map.
I mean, is this the UI version though?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, so I've played a bit of team games with both of these guys. I think they both mainly play team games, but a bit of 1v1 as well.
Yeah. Well, and that's you as well, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
The team game champion. The team game champion who snuck into 1v1 and somehow became accepted.
I haven't played much team recently.
Oh, really?
Been playing 1v1.
Certainly, I used to play so much 3v3, and I loved it. But then you play enough of it, and you realize how frustrating it can be.
It's definitely a love-hate situation.
Yeah, 100%.
One day it's fun, next day you want to cut your hair out.
It's like, why am I teamed up with these idiots? What is going on? Why?
But yeah, this should be a good game.
I think it'll be good as well. I think it'll be a good matchup. I'm interested to see how it shakes out. I'm trying to remember.
Optimus Prime's a Garja fanboy by the looks of it.
I think we're all Garja fans at this point.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm curious to see who Bobabu lost to in the tournament. Oh, he lost to Djangu. I don't know who that is.
DJ Jangu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bobabu's got quite an inconsistent player from what I've seen. Like some days he plays really well and beats like really good players, and then all of a sudden he'll lose to random people. I think he does quite random builds from what I've seen.
He played in a previous Smackdown. I'm trying to remember who he played against. I don't recall right off the top of my head. I know Interjection was casting with me at that point, but I don't remember who it was against. But he I don't know. He played Germany. He did a good FF build, and he ended up winning like a pretty long game.
Yeah, French. I do, because he won the last series, didn't he?
Yeah, he won it like 3-2 against like some other like PR35-ish guy. Oh, look at this! We're gonna lame it up right away, right out the gates.
No fears. Zero
fear. Here we go, launching into game number 1 between Bobabu and his opponent Optimus Prime, both players PR34, so it should be a pretty even, good matchup. Bobabu will be piloting the Iroquois civilization in the blue color, and his opponent Optimus Prime will be playing the Ottoman civilization in the red color. Spawning down on the right side here of Siberia, we do have Optimus Prime playing Otto, as I mentioned, and spawning on the other side, Bobabu playing Iroquois in the upper left hand side of this matchup. And I'm interested to see how this takes place, because I don't think there's much doubt in most people's minds that these are the 2 top civs. And on this map, I'm not really sure what to think about this particular matchup. Do you have
I would give this. I would say it's in Iroquois' favor on this map. Mm-hmm. Just I imagine that their fortress is probably a bit stronger.
Sure.
Could be wrong.
Okay.
So I just looked it up, and it was King of Osmane he played.
Oh yes, of course.
And it was actually me, you, and Interject.
Yeah, it was. That's right. That's right. We tri-casted. They had that really long, insane game on this map in particular. It was, I think, French versus German. It was like a 35-minute game or something.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I do remember that.
So yeah. I'm interested to see how this plays out because let's be honest, these are two civs that nobody has really seen in like a competitive scenario very much recently. Just
Yeah,
due to
I
the
mean, not
format.
in this matchup as like you've seen a
Yeah.
few. We've seen a few mirrors, like Ire mirrors, but this will be interesting. I don't really know who will win, to be honest.
Yeah, it's certainly. I think. Let's be honest. Otto is the easier civ. I mean, Iroquois is probably the stronger civ, but Ottoman isn't inherently easier civ. I mean, you don't have to train villagers. You don't have to. So much of the stuff that other civs have to do, you just don't have to do. You don't have to worry about having a good economy or booming correctly. Or I mean, it's just kind of like ship crates win game almost. Yeah. So we'll see if that plays out, whether or not the level of play here actually makes any difference. But as we can see, early in the game, both players have opted for that very standard trading post. Of course, both of these civs on a trading post map like Siberia can indeed always 100% of the time grab a trading post. So we see that becoming a factor. And another thing that is important to point out is that Optimus Prime did opt for the middle trading route. Which is going to basically allow him to have potentially 2 trading posts, whereas the Euro player, should he want a second trading post, is likely going to have to contest this middle portion of the map and really deny this starting trading post to really get a second trading post. Because let's face it, he's very unlikely to build that second trading post.
I don't even think he can build it there.
Do you think it's too close to the town center?
It looks pretty close, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Otto building the middle TP would suggest that they're definitely going to take the second one at some point.
Yeah. The one curious thing that or the one complaint I have about people who do build in the middle trading post like this is when it comes to defending this trading post, you have to be a bit careful about how you actually go about defending this middle trading site, because should you lose it, especially as like an Ottoman player who relies so heavily on that trading post, if you do lose that middle trading site, you can find yourself in kind of a bad situation early on where you don't really have enough XP, and I mean, especially if you're going to do some sort of fortress-based agenda, which is very reliant on XP, not having that can turn out to be a really huge issue. So the one caveat of having the middle trading site is that, yes, it does allow you to control 2 trading sites, but it does become a bit more of a liability, and especially against a civ like Iroquois, who's going to have a very strong early game and going to be playing very, aggressively, whether it's timing-based aggression or whether it's just flat-out straight in-your-face aggression. Defending that middle trading site can be a bit difficult at times.
So interestingly, he went for the fast age to H2. So I mean, that would suggest that he's. I would have thought I mean, if I would have thought if you were going for sort of a fortress-based play, you'd probably want to use the crates age up to H2.
Sure, and that's, I think, a little more standard. But interestingly enough, looks like a corral coming down. So it looks like he just has intentions of maybe doing some sort of semi-F eco-like build. We'll have to see. I would assume 600 wood will come as his first card, and then maybe something like 5 vills, and then coin to age up or something like that could perhaps be online.
But I mean, it could be good. It looks like Otto's going for the semi-FF as well here, dropping a stable.
Certainly is. I'm going to see he's dropped a stable down here on the backside. And certainly this map is one that plays out a bit differently in this matchup than a lot of more aggressive maps. If you think of the more aggressive maps, or the more, like Great Plainsy types maps, where the rush distance is maybe a little less, you don't have the guaranteed tower on top of your coin mine, stuff like that. People can tend to play in a completely different style in this map, just as a caveat to the particular map. So we'll have to see whether or not that ends up coming to fruition. But we do see that both players do have Cav in queue, and Optimus Prime dropping down his Mosque as well, very, very early.
Yeah, so it looks like he's potentially going to stage 2.
Yeah.
What I was going to mention is he hasn't added a second hunt yet, so these Kanye, if he gets 5 Kanye out, he got 3 out, okay. If he got 5 out there, they could have done quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, as you mentioned, he doesn't have this right herd over here herded or this bottom herd,
Yeah,
which could be potentially problematic. In fact, it is going to be problematic here very soon.
definitely.
He is running out of food in his base. This remaining hunt is not going to last him for very much longer. And at this point, there are, as you mentioned, a fairly large number of Kanye out. There's 7 currently on the map. And here it looks like we're going to have a little bit of an engagement. The Kanye do catch out the Hussar, do push them back. Looks like 2 of them are currently snared, trying to get their way back to the town center. But Bobabu doing a pretty good job of snaring multiple of these Hussar, and he's doing quite a bit of damage to them as a result. And there's really not any sort of formulated response at this point from Optimus Prime. He's trying, I would assume, to use the town center to be as efficient as possible. But there are a lot of Kanye out here right now. And as you mentioned, due to the fact that he doesn't have a second hunt herded, this is going to be a bit of a difficult situation for him to navigate here moving forward.
Definitely. I would like to see him drop another TP. He's got 300 idle wood right now.
Yep, certainly could. A couple more of those Hussar are falling in this fight. The one of the 2 remaining is at fairly low HP, and this is a kind of an ugly situation for Optimus Prime. Now, fortunately, he does get out another batch of Hussar, does get out 3 Janissaries. That is going to turn this pressure around. But at the same time, Bobabu's economy behind this, very good. 27 villagers with that trading post. And certainly, Optimus Prime's villagers are in quite an awkward spot. And moving forward here, that could be a very easy avenue for continued aggression here on the right hand side of his base.
So I imagine the coin is... yeah, there's the coin just coming. So as soon as he's picked that up, he's going to be able to age.
Yeah, he's going to be able to age. And personally, he's really in a fantastic spot. Look at Optimus Prime's current situation. He's scared out of his mind that he could get raided at any point on the right-hand side of his map. He doesn't have a second trading post, instead opting to just, build a market and get a couple market upgrades. But to be perfectly fair, I don't know that that's in itself going to be enough. Optimus Prime...
well, you never... I mean, his saving grace is that Bobabu hasn't herded well either.
Sure.
So having these extra cav on the field is going to idle up a lot of his vills.
Yep, and
keep in mind he doesn't have the fast age up option here, so
that's
it's
true.
going to be a while.
That's actually a really important thing to note, is because he did use the fast age, did use that to get to the second age, there's going to be a pretty big window here that Optimus Prime is going to have to really apply some pressure and kind of abuse the fact that his opponent doesn't have that fast age up available. Who's going to be chopping for a very long time. And ooh, as you point out, another nice big raid coming down here by Bobabu. Going to turn back quite a bit of pressure. 1 villager already down, a second going to fall, certainly a third going to fall even, and perhaps even a 4th. Lots of damage done here. And this is the point where Otto's eco, at 14 vills is certainly not strong. And despite the fact that, the Jans and the Hussar are working across to the other side of the map here in Bobabu's base, I don't know if that's necessarily going to be enough. At the end of the day, it is Siberia. There is a war hut doing damage. The town center is doing some damage. The tower is certainly adding some damage. And not only does he have to... He essentially has to win the game right now, does Optimus Prime, because 1, he is not aging. He doesn't have wood to really even create more units. And his opponent is working his way to the next stage. So this is maybe do or die time for Optimus Prime. Should he not win the game within these next 1 or 2 minutes, imagine a situation where even 5 musket riders gets out.
I mean, he should not be. He needs to be keeping the pressure up right here.
Yep.
Another thing to keep in mind is he's already sent his crates. So if he did want to age, he's going to have to gather all those resources.
Yeah, with
15 vills, that's going to take a long time.
That's definitely not going to happen. And at this point, as you mentioned, it looks like raiding and keeping up the pressure going to be his best bet. And we can see the war hut is going down from the travois that did come from the age up. A little bit more pressure being applied to these villagers. Going to pick off 1, maybe 2. Looks like perhaps even a 3rd. But unfortunately for him, I think his clock is ticking. The stable is still up here. Let's see whether or not there's musket riders in queue. No musket riders in queue, as it were. Bobabu actually fairly house kept. And this, once again, the timing is very small here. He's got about a minute, maybe 2, where he can apply some pressure, and Bobabu doesn't have shipments enough available to him to really bail him out. And should he not kill his opponent right here, right now, could find himself staring up at a very difficult situation to deal with.
I'm pretty sure he shipped the cuirassiers.
Oh, did he?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, he's sent a shipment a long time ago, and it hasn't come out.
There they are, the cuirassiers, as you mentioned. The house is going to get up here as well. Unfortunately, I don't know that the cuirassiers are going to be enough. Tomahawks do pop from the big button, along with the cuirassiers, going to try and buy as much pressure off these villagers as possible. You can see the villagers just standing out here tanking as much damage as possible. All of the villagers actually just getting up into the fight. Not sure that that's necessarily the course of action he wants, but he is doing a lot of damage to the remaining ground forces here for Bobabu, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Optimus Prime has found his way to win this game. I think just with this timing pressure, despite the fact that his opponent is aged up, Bobabu looking to be in a really tough spot here.
Yeah. There is another unit shipment on the way, so hopefully it's the musket riders.
Yeah, you know, one has to wonder what would have the musket riders done in this situation. Obviously, against Muskus, the best answer always is going to be some sort of dragoon composition. But now that only Janissaries remain, you know, these forest prowlers are going to be able to pick off quite a few units. But take a look at the ecos. It's just an absolute mess for both sides at this point. 11 villagers for the Iroquois player. 18 villagers for the Auto player. Both sides have a TP apiece, and 4 more Hussar working their way across the map. And fortunately for the Forest Prowlers, the only skirmisher unit in the game that can go invisible is going to keep them alive. But once again, we arrive back to the situation where there are just not a lot of hunts available for Bobabu to gather from. We can see he's gathering up the remaining crates, but with most of these Janissaries still alive, 4 of the Hussar here working their way down onto this corral, things are going to once again get very, very hairy for Bobabu. We can see a single musket rider in queue, and I don't know if that's going to be enough to ward off this pressure. We can see the Forest Prowlers trying their best to just continue to kite away, and well, here do come a couple more Kanya, which are going to be able to at least face tank some of the Hussar damage should it come to that. But does he not have 5 musket riders in his deck?
No, he doesn't. I just realized that. That's quite upsetting.
Yeah, that's a very important card at this point. Feels like a bit of a blunder. A couple more of the Hussar work their way in here. The Kanya are going to catch them. And now we get into the situation where, okay, let's take status of where we're at, because let's face it, Optimus Prime is still Auto in the second age. He's not aged up. Economy-wise, things are fairly even. Bobabu is 7 villagers down, but
I mean, his problem, he just has nowhere to gather food right now.
Yeah, that's so.
He needs to get on them berries, if anything.
Yeah, his hunts have kind of scattered to the wind. He could get that hunt into his base fairly easily, but you know, he's definitely going to need to get some sort of raid. And if I'm Optimus Prime here, I'm actually scratching my head as to what my follow-up is, because it's not like his resource situation is that much better. He's got a handful of Jans and a handful of Hussar, which are a decent...
These Forest Prowlers need to be careful right now. There's a lot of Hussar there.
They do indeed. Fortunately, like we mentioned before, they can go invisible, so...
Yeah.
Do you have time to get them invisible if you get vision of, like, the Hussar?
No. It won't let you. It's the same as, like, a scout.
Sure.
Like, if there's something near to you, it won't let you stealth.
But he could perhaps come over here, pick off a couple villagers, and then go stealth, and and then work his way on out. We can see the Hussar and Janissary are reacting, and I would love
stealth
to see
them babies
stealth them up. There they go. There they go. So great, perfect.
I mean, what he should be doing here is he should have ransomed his explorer here, so he can detect them.
Yeah, that would have been a very intelligent thing to do. I think, you know, he knows they're around here. He's probably come to the stark realization that they've gone invisible.
Where are they at?
Where are they at? He's just searching them out. But at the same time, this is buying him a lot of time. I mean, look at where he's forced
I'd love to see him get up a cheeky volley on there.
and then go stealth again. That would be
Run
great.
away.
The Cav, he's just realizing now that Brawler out there, he realizes it. And he's bought himself a lot of time with just this running around here. I mean, if we take a look at the journey that Optimus Prime's army has been on here for the past couple minutes, he really hasn't done anything with his army as a result of just trying to figure out where those forest prowlers are. And this has bought Bobabu some time to establish a war hut on his hunt, has allowed his villagers time to gather up his remaining crates, just kind of get back on his feet a little bit. And he's starting to close that villager gap, now only down 6 villagers. And despite the fact that, yes, he is down military, is down villagers, he is still in the 3rd age, does have a trading post, so he does have those very strong age 3 shipments still available to him. And it's still kind of in Optimus Prime's court to dictate the pace of the game. He's probably going to just try and get a couple Abyss guns out here and then continue the push across the map because, as it were, he's soon going to run into a situation where he's going to have to pay resources to make more than 25 villagers.
Here we go, we got the raid again going down.
I wonder if it'll turn the Hussar around again.
Yeah. So one thing to note is he has upgraded his Kanye and has shipped them again.
Oh,
It might actually work out since he's sort of changing over to Abyss right now.
Yeah. The one thing that he is going to need is he is going to need those forest prowlers to help deal with the Janissary.
Use the Explorer shot before it dies. He can pick off like 4 Hussar here.
Yeah, there's a bunch of low HP Hussar. I just held down my tab key to see that as well. Looks like he is going to use it.
Oh, he shot the one on its own. My eyes.
But still at the same time, as you mentioned, the upgraded Kanye are going to be able to push back the Hussar count. And
all his bills are in here though.
Oh, no, they are. Most of them are. Unfortunately,
he needed to just engage that. He's got quite a lot of Kanye.
Yeah, and they are quite upgraded as well. He certainly could have at least kept a couple of them alive. The forest prowlers are coming back, are going to be relevant here, but once again, they are split off a bit, so they need to be a bit careful. And now Bobabu back down to 13 vills. The one other fortunate thing we do have to remember is that he did kill quite a few villagers with these forest prowler raids. So Optimus Prime only had 21 villagers himself. And I just don't think he's going to be able to clear this army that Red currently has on the map is the unfortunate thing. Barring some sort of super
he really needs
raid.
some, I don't know, like, he just needs some forest, some anti-cav of some kind. And then he could be, like, hopefully he'll ship the 9 Tomahawk next. That would be better than, I mean, that's probably his best option from here.
Yeah.
There's a big raid going down here again. This is a massive raid.
Yeah, if he kills all
of
these
his
guys,
vills.
yeah. Oh man, that could be absolutely huge. But the thing is, he's going to just lose his town center here. I mean, the auto player is just going to siege down his town center. Yeah, he's going to kill every single one of the auto player's vills, but is it really going to matter? Not having a town center, not having any infrastructure whatsoever. Minutemen do...
DC is dropping quick.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of siege associated with this army, right? There's quite a few Janissaries. That town center is definitely down. I think we're going to have a situation where basically neither player is going to have a single villager left here pretty quick.
You need to get them vills out running.
Start running towards the Kanya, if anything, I guess.
Exactly. He has to engage this army now. It's his only chance.
Yeah. Just waiting for the Kanye to come back, I guess. The 8 forest prowlers are still alive. Needs to pick off as many of the Janissaries before this fight starts as possible, just to be able to deal with them. The Kanye are here. He did save a couple of the villagers, so that certainly is a good thing for him, losing another villager, trying to kite his way out of this situation with the forest prowlers the best he can. And I think he's just in the situation where he just needs to go, like you mentioned.
I mean, he's not going to be able to win unless he kills this army right now.
Yeah, he definitely has to. I mean, he doesn't have the resources to rebuild a town center. He essentially has to kill the army and then go and siege down the town center of the red player.
Well, no, he's going to have to kill the army and then kill all of his vills.
and then kill the town center. Yeah. Either way, things are looking, well, grimmer and grimmer, I guess, but still neither player, if you look at the villager counts. 9 versus 14 vills. How often do we see that? Like at any level of play, at 20 minutes, it's 9 versus 14 villagers. But at this point, I think Otto has just assembled an army that is not going to be killable. Had he gotten a few more of the Janissaries killed and just slammed his Kanya in there while he maybe had the time, maybe he would have had a chance. Another raid done. Look at these raids. These raids are ridiculous. They're actually really good.
One trick raid.
But to be,
I hope that's a serious comment. I hope he's actually mad. He's going straight for the other ones as well.
Look at the villager counts. Look at the villager.
9 to 8. Nice. He's gonna here's all of his other villas as well.
Yeah, certainly. He's gonna see these downtowns. What are we watching here? These villas are all dead.
I think he just accepted their death at this point.
They're probably just taking up pop room. Look at his pop cap. I mean, this is the point where Victor Sweet's comment about villagers just taking up pop room becomes 100% relevant, because at this point he doesn't have the wood to build another house. Eventually those villagers will respawn themselves, and at this point they're just taking up pop room. Might as well just get a little bit more room to send shipments and stuff like that.
Got some abyss.
Ooh, caught out. One of them does go down. Bobabu was able to get up a war hut, so he is going to be able to ship another card. Ray, no, he's not either, because he doesn't have. He has zero pop room. He's got actually zero.
He could send his crates. That's about it.
Optimus Prime making a reference to the fact that he has two village. Oh no. One villager remaining. He did save it. Did save the one villager. That is important to note. I still don't think that Bobabu, despite the fact that he has 9 times as many villagers as his opponent, can really win this fight. He's going to have to get very clever and very lucky with these Kanya. Certainly if the Kanya were to find out the Abyss were just standing here unprotected, and if he can kill little pieces of the if he can kill little pieces of the army like this is huge. Yeah, there he goes. That's what he needs. That's exactly what he needs to get back in this game. He's going to be able to kill 4 or 5 Abyss for free. Going to be able to disengage here. Look at his vills just all in this corner. Certainly at this point, Optimus Prime has to just hunt those down, figure out where they're at, and eliminate them from the game. A couple of the forests. Prowlers, I was going to say, are caught out of position, but nope. They do get into stealth, and at this point, do you just go start sieging this town center trading post and just try and draw your opponent out of position so that your villagers can gather enough wood to try and build houses to get a shipment? I mean, he's going to be in a position where he's going to have two shipments available here. The Hussar are hot on the trails of these forest prowlers. Does, interestingly enough, pick up another one of the villagers down here.
Sorry, I was just speaking to someone.
Yeah.
So what he needs to do right now is pick up this guy. This guy is massive.
Oh yeah, he is very important. Certainly.
These guys should have also been in stealth running across the map.
Yeah. The thing is, he unstealthed them to try and kill a couple of the Janissaries, and then the Hussar.
He's gonna pick off the remaining vills.
Yeah.
They're literally just spawning and dying at this point.
They're just taking a pop cap. Oh man, look at these two vills hiding in the corner. They have spotted out the longhouse, which is important at this point because the longhouses are a very important way for Bobabu to get back in this game. He does need to only build one more longhouse and then a war hut, and he will have a shipment available to him, which will considerably bolster his chances in this game.
If he had dropped a war hut and get them crates out, then you could have built a load of houses with the wood from that.
Sure, And the thing was, I think he tried that war hut tactic at one point, and it just got sieged down. He's like, well,
I think he's have to split them up, get one in each corner.
Yeah. Maybe these vills just need to do a runner and start going back over here or something. This game, I don't even know what I'm watching anymore. Just look at the map and look at how little stuff is actually on the map. Oh no, the houses are gonna get seen. I reckon he can get the war hut up though and get up maybe one shipment.
Oh man, he can't. I can't believe he's building it in the same place. He needs to build it somewhere different.
He needs. I think he just needs to run his cavalry over here and start sieging this to just like.
Well, I mean, to be
cause
honest,
a
like, yeah,
distraction.
distract him, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he could force his opponent to bring his entire army over to the left-hand side of the map, while his villagers are over here gathering resources and building the war hut on the right-hand side of the map. There he goes. Like even just showing his army forces the outplay.
Hilarious. He just got capped again before he could send his shipment.
Yeah, he needs to gather wood for another war hut. And let's be honest here, Optimus Prime doing a smart thing, scouting out. I mean, we're basically he's gonna restart the clock all over again, right? He's gonna scout this out. There's the top 21. He's scouted where his opponent has his remaining infrastructure at. Both of the longhouses, the war hut over here on the right hand side. Is going to pick up a hut skill, which is relevant because Optimus Prime with now I guess 6 villagers is not gathering any coin. Look at the 6 villagers. They've just resigned themselves to the fact that the only place they're going to be safe gathering food from is right underneath the town center.
Yeah. They ain't going nowhere.
No, they are just going to hunker down there.
Imagine if he really needs to get that explorer back up.
Yeah, that would be huge at this point.
Oh man, Bobabu could have won this game so many times. He just needs to split his vills up a bit and get his buildings in different places so he doesn't lose them all every time.
Yeah, because at this point, once again, well, he does have a shipment sending, but it's not going to get here in time. It's just not going to be... I mean, even if it does come, what is it? It's going to be resources on the floor that your opponent can probably pick up.
Huss is coming. He's going to find him again.
Uh-oh. That Huss is just on patrol around the outside circle of the map.
Yeah.
Just looking for it. I think at this point it's fairly safe to say that Optimus Prime is going to win this game. How long? Oh, and that's probably going to be enough to be the nail in the coffin. That Hussar is going to be able to... Oh, maybe you didn't see it.
He's got 4 HP as well. He needs to shoot that boy.
Yeah. Shoot him and then run.
Yeah.
do a drive-by on that bad boy. But the houses, the point I'm trying to make is the houses are found out. There's no way that 9 villagers can ever gather that amount of wood again without being caught out by these 4 Hussar. These 4 Hussar are eventually going to track down...
I can't believe he hasn't worked out to get that Explorer back yet.
Yeah, it's really important.
I mean, what else have you got to think about right now?
At this point, he's just driving, 8 villagers, 8 Kanya around the map, just trying to figure out a way to get enough houses up. Certainly, as you mentioned, being able to get his Explorer back represents...
Sweet treasure pickup over here. I like that. I lost a Huss to it as well.
Well, you can remake it with that 205 food.
Yeah, although he's got no coin.
Yeah,
I think sell some coin.
Sell and grab some coin, yeah, perhaps.
Sell some. Here we go. He just did. Got 1 Huss queue.
Queue him up, boys. Oh man, I'm speechless at this point. I don't even know what else to say. The thing is, at this.
There we go, the Explorer's up.
He's back in the mix. He's back in the mix. He's back in the mix.
Here we go, he's getting in for the shot.
Yep.
All them Minutemen are going to drop in one volley.
There's a couple low HP gens. Yeah, there's lots of low HP stuff. I mean, that's... those are freebies that if you can pick those up... The thing is, there's still so many high HP gens left alive that he can't kill that with just his 5 or 10 Kanya. I don't know. He has also taken your advice. He has split up his villagers. He's got 2 villagers there. Although those villagers may just be stuck in the trees. They may
I think they are.
They maybe just can't get out.
They're trying to work their way out.
No.
I'm gonna start seeing. See, I like this. I like this kind of thing. This is the diversion that he needs. Split up your opponent.
You can kill them Cav as well before the other units.
Yeah. He's got the elite upgrade on his Kanya. His Kanya are really strong.
This is so frustrating to watch.
Oh man.
All right, we're getting them houses back up. Round 3. I can't believe get the war hut up first. The crates. Come on.
Does he have crates in his deck?
Yeah, he's got the 1200 crates.
Yeah. Oh, don't lose those puppies. Can't afford to lose Kanya at this point. The one good thing is he is continually poking in here. Like, this is what he needs to do. He needs to buy himself time by. He actually needs to show where his Kanya are, so that where Optimus Prime is running is not to where his villagers are. Because
the thing is, if Optimus Prime was smart as well, he would just ignore these Kanye. They're actually useless. All he needs to do is find his vills around the map.
Yeah.
Like, these Kanye can't do anything.
Oh.
It doesn't even matter if he loses the vills at this point.
Sorry again.
Yeah. God damn.
Little boy.
I love how happy he is about finding them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a brutal blow to lose that vill.
Yeah.
That vill ain't coming back anytime soon.
Interestingly enough, he's just standing the rest of his army underneath his town center. He is up to 13 villagers again, which is worth something, I guess, at this point.
He's got the reds for the war hut. Here we go. Oh, that one vill is stuck in there. That's funny.
He needs to go back to chopping his way out. He's only got 131 wood to go.
Oh yeah, he's out. Where's that explorer gone now? Oh, he's chilling.
He's chilling. He needs to create a diversion. Diversionary tactic time. There you go.
Here we go.
There you go. Show him.
If he can get them cav to chase him long enough, he can turn around and engage them.
Yep. Because certainly the cav have enough. Okay, turn and fight. You're snared. Turn and fight. No, don't lose the one. Oh! Does get off a crack shot with the explorer as well. Nice.
He dead.
He is dead, but he's buying time. He's being a diversion, which is certainly helpful. The war hut is going to get up, and I feel fairly confident in saying he's, well, as I say that, like, he's going to be able to at least send a shipment. We can see one shipment.
He's going to find it right away again. Yeah. I would just quit at this point.
Attack now! I need help.
Attack now! Oh man, so good. Bobabu has resigned. Wow. Oh man, that game, man, made my day. 3 shipments, he knows it. Just can't get one down. I wonder how much longer he could have drawn. He probably almost indefinitely could have continued to draw this out, right? Like.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yes. I think Bobabu.
Do you think when we were in the situation where he had lost his town centers and this madness first started, where the villagers were running, the cav were, like running around, some of the forest prowlers were still left alive? I think at that point where it was like 2 villagers to 9 or something like that, and he had just lost his town center, I think he was actually in the advantage there.
Yeah, definitely. He had the advantage. If he had just got his war hut up, in a non-obvious spot, like he was building them where Optimus kind of knew where he was. Like he saw the vills run from the TC down to that bottom right corner.
Yeah.
Like it's obviously going to be the first place he checks. He should have sent one vill up like the top of the map and built a war hut there. I mean, if he just had time to send those shipments, he literally would have won the game.
Oh man,
it's quite a funny game.
It's hilarious. Look at the villager counts as well. Just the vill graph is 9, 8. Oh man. He's even gotten it back up to 18 and then had that huge raid. Yeah, it was 2 versus 9 for quite some time. Well, it was 9 versus 1 for quite some time. Ottoman, you never cease to amaze us with your capabilities.
Yeah. He also could have not lost the TC, I think. I mean, if he had just sent... I mean, the 5 Kers was just a terrible shipment.
Yeah, and I mean, he just didn't have musket riders in his deck.
Yeah.
That's...
I mean, even at that Tomahawk would have been better than the Kers.
Yeah.
He wasted his big button before his other shipment arrived. He kind of just... And he never used his Explorer effectively. He kept dying before anything happened. I think he could have held this push if he had played it a little bit better.
Yeah, and then at that point, it's just Age 3 Euro. I mean, we had kind of pointed out some of the issues that Optimus was having early, not really hurting his hunts very well, having some fairly exposed stuff like that would have been then very easy to abuse once the initial pressure had been held. Otto would have just found himself locked in the second age with really no way to progress from there.
For sure.
Trying to get Bobabu to host again.
This is going to be an interesting series. That is for sure.
If every game is like this, certainly.
Got a lot to look forward to.
I'm going to need to run to the restroom quickly.
Right, shall I pick them up?
Yeah, you can do either that or usually what I do is Hudson after. But otherwise, you pick them up.
Yeah. Okay, let's go Arkansas.
Alright, I have returned.
Okay.
Never straw pull again. Did he like straw pull for his first civ or something?
I have no idea. I'm not really sure what that means, to be honest.
I like how you just agreed with him, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate you, bruv.
I'm with you on that one. Alright, looks like Babu is going to perhaps play Iroquois again, and it looks like Optimus Prime going to balance that out by playing Portuguese. So, in fact, we may very well see the best civ and the worst civ in the same game. Although, to be perfectly fair, when it comes... Okay, we're not going to see it. But the point I was going to make is, although Portuguese is generally considered to be the weakest civ in the game, especially on land maps, I don't know that they necessarily fare any worse than some of the other European civs in that matchup. Just because, like, the extra town center is good at holding the pressure and dealing, you know, some reciprocal damage with town center fire and helping to secure some of your resources as well. So
I mean, yeah, I mean, they may be. I mean, it's not by a big margin that they're the worst civ, and I mean, Porta's still a good civ, and you can, if you use them properly, they can be quite hard to beat.
Yep. Bobabu did on green, but it looks like we're going to... Oh, no, we're not going to go into it. Once you win with a civ, you can't. Yep, that's correct. Is this a water map? No. Land only. Okay, looks like you just wanted confirmation of whether it was a land map. Game number 2 is going to be played on Arkansas. Nice little map.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite maps.
Yeah,
of the new maps.
it certainly is a good map. I'm quickly becoming fond of it as well. It's really balanced. It's got it's got good strategic options. It's a little bit smaller of a version of Mongolia, I guess. Things are a little bit closer. Lots of hunts, some interesting terrain in it. I really do like it as well.
Yeah, I mean, what I like as well about it is there's no like outrageous treasures either.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of like mid-tier treasures, but nothing that just wins you the game.
Yeah, I mean, like 40 XP, which we see Optimus Prime picking up right now, is not going to make or break the game. It certainly is a nice little advantage, but it's not a game-breaking treasure at any point.
Yeah. So I mean, you've got like the 80, 90, 70 food treasures. You get a 60 wood one in there sometimes.
Yeah.
There is occasionally the 95 wood.
Yeah, which is, you know, is still a good treasure, but
Yeah, very good treasures, but yeah, it's usually quite balanced.
Yeah, it's not like 150 wood or something like that. So
There's plenty of hunts. The TP line is it's a good TP line, and the XP isn't that great because it's quite a small TP line.
yeah, it's fairly short, but it's also very consistent. That's the good thing about short TPs as well, right?
Yeah.
Like the inconsistencies with like missing your first pass become a lot less important because it's just not as relevant. But quickly to introduce the players, spawning on the right hand side of the map, currently down 1-0 is Bobabu, playing the German civilization. On the other side of the map, playing the Portuguese civilization. Up currently 1-0, Optimus Prime, playing the Portuguese.
It's my boy Blue.
It's your boy, huh?
You're my boo boo.
It's
quite relevant because he is blue as well.
Yeah, Bobabu. Bobabu. You were saying at one point, I think, to me that this guy also was the old player Barbex.
No, I was told that, but apparently that's not true.
Not true.
Yeah.
Okay. It kind of surprised me when you said it because Barbex was like really well known for playing like Russia, and
He was also, I mean, Barbex was quite a solid player as well.
Yeah,
Probably a
he's-
little like he was always. I mean, he was what about PR38 in
38,
active
yeah.
times.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, to be perfectly fair, it's hard to judge. You know, a lot of this game is how often you play and how much you play, and like just playing the right civs at the right time. Oh, it looks like we're gonna have a bit of a skirmish over here. Can really influence like what your rating is as well. So, a little bit of a skirmish going over here over the Iroquois Tomahawk treasure. Looks like Bobabu with the far lower hit points is going to turn around and run. Going to use his crack shot to pick up that 40 XP treasure instead. It looks like Optimus Prime not willing to finish off the remaining 2 wolves on that Tomahawk, just in fear that his opponent may steal it. Certainly, if he does get the stolen Tomahawk, he's going to be able to turn around and start doing some damage. Oh, and maybe even more importantly, looking to pick up this second trading post. How much did he have to chop a lot of wood, or did he get some really good?
I think he sent 300. Yeah, he sent
300 wood. That was not something I was expecting. But yeah, as you mentioned, send 300 wood. Going to pick up that second trading post very early, and going to secure himself a 2 trading post to 1 advantage. Obviously, Germany did pick up that first single trading post as well in the first age, but we'll have to see. I wonder what kind of ideas he has with sending 300 wood as his first card, see where he goes from there. I think in general, kind of the Portuguese standard, at least on land, has become you just save that first card and send an additional like 700 coin or wood crate or whatever. Just get your extra crates out a little bit early and try and use that.
I guess his idea is to try and like earn that shipment back in XP, which could. I mean, eventually it will pay off, but it may take a little while.
Yeah, it may take a little bit of time, but we'll have to see whether or not that becomes relevant. It certainly does deny the middle trading site from the German player, who, if he did have intentions of building a second trading post with only 3 trading posts on the map, would deny that as well. So it does have some secondary benefits as well to it. Going to pick up an 80 XP treasure here as well.
Yeah, so he has picked up 160 XP in treasures.
Yeah, which is
with
which
the
is
early
quite
TP.
nice. Yeah.
I mean, if you look, he's nearly got his second shipment in Age 2.
And
it would be his 3rd shipment, so
Sure.
that's a good position for a German player.
Yeah, it's a really good position, as you mentioned, for the German player. But interestingly enough, we do see there's a settler wagon that has moved his way across the middle of the map. So
we're going in, boys.
Perhaps some shenanigans going to take place once again here by Bobabu. Does drop down that first barracks. Likely going to see 700 wood behind this, and we'll have to see. Do you think it's? I guess it's just going to be crossbow pike, not currently gathering any coins.
Yeah,
so
that's what it looks like.
So yeah, it's just going to be good old-fashioned Dularex rush out of the German player. We can see a pike currently in queue, a second barracks coming down as well.
This is bad.
And
if he spots that,
especially with pikes being built right off the bat.
I suppose he's not going to see it though, is he?
It's certainly. Well, I guess he's got to expect it being somewhere. But if I'm looking for it anywhere, I'm probably thinking it's probably.
Where's that Vil going? Does he see it? He sees it.
He sees it. Oh no, that's going to be huge.
That's going to die, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's going to transition into a lot of pressure over here in the middle portion of the map as well. The trading post is going to come under fire, and we can see these 5 pikes are doing a lot of damage to it. And with only a Hussar start, there's certainly not going to be any sort of crossbow or muskets that are going to be coming here to save the day. And with all the damage going down on this town center, there's likely not going to be anything that he can do to salvage the situation. Is going to lose his second town center and going to lose the trading post in the middle of the map as a result. There's really no way around it. And at this point, sure, he is going to have some Hussar out. Has shipped his 700 coin, is looking to be in a position where he could potentially look to age. But no, instead, 6 muskets going to come and he's going to try and fight this out in the second age. And this has all of a sudden become a very awkward situation for the Portuguese player.
Yeah, and I mean, the German has run quite an eco build behind this. They've just gone 3 settler wagon into the 700 coin.
Yep. One of the settler wagons is going to be taking a little bit of pressure here, but I'm not sure that that's really going to matter. Going to get the Hussar caught here. No, it looks like he's going to get out of there. Maybe might lose the one, but does also have the muskets coming in here as well, which are going to be able to deal with the pikes.
He should just engage that, honestly.
Yeah, got one of the pikes shot. It looks like we have 5 Ulans coming as the next card from Bobabu. Minutemen being called as well from the left-hand side of the map. Optimus Prime really going to try and deny this. It looks like, and we have 8 crossbowmen following this up as well for Optimus Prime. And it looks like this is going to be his chance to try and equalize as Minutemen fighting as well. The pikes are engaging on top of the Hussar. Pretty good job of getting his units where he needs to have them for Bobabu.
That's a good split by Bobabu.
And really, things have gone disastrously here for Optimus Prime. He has lost the middle portion of the map. He is committed to sending military unit shipments and has, in fact, has resigned. A really quick second game after a long, drawn-out bloodbath of just villagers dying everywhere. Bobabu executing a build, catching the town center, maybe a little bit lucky. Did spot that with his settler wagon. I don't think if he would have not sent his settler wagon to that particular tree, he
it's
probably
so funny
would
that
not
like
have
that finding that TC of his veil is so random.
Yep.
Like out of all the trees, he clicked on that one that's the furthest away.
Yep.
It's pretty funny.
And as a result, sees the town center coming up with those first pike. I mean, otherwise, what do those first pike do? I mean, if I'm in his position, I probably look for the town center up to the north side, defending that coin mine or that hunt up to the north side, or else I just kind of resign myself to the fact that the Portuguese player's probably doing some sort of FF or semi-FF, and it's just plopped it down in his base. But
I mean, that could have been his plan. I mean, he idled his TC slightly to get the 16 pop age up. So that was potentially his plan to try and find the TC.
Find the TC and snipe it with the first 5 pike. Certainly did end up working out. Optimus Prime paid quite dearly for his early greed, did take that early second trading post and tried to defend it with the town center. Unfortunately was unable to do so and fell miraculously behind it, unfortunately for him. But evening up the score at 1 game apiece is Bobabu. He's your boy.
He's my boy. Alright, we going Hudson next?
Sure, we can do Hudson next. Samwise12's game. Did you see when you were playing?
Yeah, I did see that.
I don't even remember. Who were you playing? I was
against Prince of Kabul.
Against Prince of Kabul. There was just so many
No.
Yeah, I got a screenshot. The entire my whole screen was filled up with, my games, my name.
Feels good, man.
Yeah.
Always nice to meet a fan.
Definitely. Always nice to meet a fan. I remember when it happened. Here you go. I've just found it. I think it's you. And there was even more. I couldn't some of them wouldn't fit on the my screen in one go. Samwise is not wise anymore's game.
bring this on screen. Samwise12. I like the random Frodo 12s game in there as well. Samwise's gays game. Pretty good. I have another screenshot from like back in 2010 or so where there's even more than that, and they're like they're numbered up. It's like Samwise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like etc. 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 all the way up. This game.
Okay, so what we got? We got Euro against Spain.
Euro versus Spain. Bobabu going back to the Iroquois civilization. Optimus Prime has just straight up clicked in with Spain.
Yeah, I mean it could. I mean, it could be okay. I mean, Spain could do quite well if they get the FF off.
Yeah.
Just depends whether the Euro decides to rush him or not. Really.
Sure. Looks like Optimus is going to.
Yeah, you can play Port again. I don't mind.
the ultimate bait. Just keep smashing his port and then keep reminding him that he's allowed to play it game after game after game. By the way, you can play port. Beat it. By the way, you can play port. Beat it again.
See what else I can beat Port with.
I'm not sure if I can beat your port with my Euro. Let's try it again.
Yeah, this one's a pretty fair one. Pretty sure Kanisi could pull that off though.
Yeah, of course. That guy's a master.
He's what dreams are made of.
Yeah. Did you watch his game against Ramex on Manchuria where like his walling literally just wins him the game? He's so good at abusing walls.
It's very impressive the way he does it.
Yeah. He's the only one who like plays that style that well. Like there are people who like try and build walls, but we need to restart.
Oh yeah, it's not UI, is it? They can't see us.
They can't see it.
If you press F3, it will pause it. Well, hopefully that will make them realise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's lag. Okay, we're out.
Lag, it's lag. Yes.
But now.
Right. Are they gonna unpause it? Are they gonna quit? It won't let me unpause it. God damn it. They probably just think I'm trying to fix the lag or something.
I'll pause. Just resign, dude. Wait. Maybe he thinks it's like him.
Do you have either of them on Skype?
No, I don't, unfortunately. Only AoE open yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
I'm out. Braincasters are resigned. There we go. Just one of the weird caveats. I figured that might happen because I had to download the map, which if it's the right version of Hudson, like I wouldn't think I would have to download.
Yeah, so there seems to be like loads of bad, like broken versions of the maps going around.
I don't
and
know
when
how
someone
that
hosts
happens.
with it, it replaces everyone's file if they click yes.
Yeah.
And then everyone has this broken map. But I think the problem, he just didn't select the UI version. I think that's all it was.
Oh, was it? That could perhaps be it as well. That will do it. That'll do it right there. Someone pointing out that in an interview on RTS Sanctuary, you were saying that that you played Age of Empires 3 back in 2004 before the game was even released. Nice lie.
Was it?
Nice lie.
Not released?
No,
I'm gonna Google
2005.
that right now.
Came out like October 20 something, 2005.
Yeah, I was a beta tester. That was yeah. I don't know. That was probably just a guess, to be honest.
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, unless I meant one of the other. I used to play like single. I remember when I was younger, when I was probably like 10 or 12. I used to come home from school, and I would play single player, like Age of Empires 2 against the computer.
Yeah, that's what I did as well.
And I must have been just absolutely terrible, but I loved it.
just loved every minute of it.
Yeah,
Just
all
getting-
about that.
I just look back at how poorly I played this game, and you just wonder like how you ever actually enjoyed being that bad. And it's just like you're just in oblivion. You're just like oblivious to the fact that how bad you are, and you just enjoy it so much. And I think
Yeah. Do you know, I kind of think about it the other way sometimes as well. Is it's quite enjoyable improving. Like it's a good feeling to know that you're improving.
yeah, that's true.
Whereas when you're kind of at the top, it's not as satisfying. Like because you expect to win every game, and then
Yeah.
it's just frustrating if you do lose.
Yeah, completely agree. It's a very rewarding feeling in anything, in any aspect of life, to improve at something, whether it's like
Yeah.
your job or whatever. But yeah, I mean the pressures of, like as you mentioned, like I'm sure when you were PR 50, right? If you lose a single game to anyone
Yeah.
below you on the ladder, which is everybody because you're PR 50, like everyone just immediately says like, oh, like blah 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 blah, like
Yeah.
like you're crap, you suck, like.
Overrated.
Yeah, it's
But yeah, it's. I mean, it's not even that. It's like it gets kind of boring when you are beating everyone all the time.
sure.
Like you just feel like it's a bit repetitive.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. It was a good feeling coming back and actually losing some games and kind of trying to get back to being as good as I used to be.
Yeah, it's a breath of fresh air, certainly. But spawning over here on the right-hand side of the map, Bobabu playing the Iroquois civilization, and his opponent spawning on the left, playing Spain, Optimus Prime. Both players opting for an early trading post. We can see the map is, of course, Hudson Bay, a variation of the ever popular, or at least one of my favorite maps in the game, Saginaw. And certainly a little bit more balanced of a version. Doesn't have those annoying pawns in the middle. The trading posts are a little bit more balanced as well. So certainly,
And the hunts are a bit
the
better.
hunts are a bit better. There's sometimes in Sag where you get like that bugged out 3 deer as your first
Yeah.
hunt or something, and it's like, well, I guess I just lose the game because I don't have any food in my base.
Yeah,
Not
I
the
mean,
case.
we used to get 2 batches of 3 deer.
Yeah,
It
or
used to
something
be so
like
frustrating.
ridiculous like that.
And they would be impossible to herd. They'd be like the goats on Kamchatka, whatever you say.
Or,
Like they just run away. Like if you leave them for 2 seconds, they are gone, never to be found again.
a couple of nice treasures being picked up here by both players. We can see the Iroquois player Bobabu is picking up 135 XP. His opponent over here, near where his trading site was, does pick up the villager treasure as well. So certainly a couple of really nice treasures early in the game. And this map does
They're
have,
pretty much the only good treasures on this map as well. Both
they?
of those.
There's 150 food down here.
Oh yeah, that's true. Didn't see that.
What else do we have? We have 80 XP, I guess is okay.
And the Nuka is pretty OP as well.
Yeah, certainly. Especially, imagine if you're red. If you're Optimus Prime and you pick up that Nuka Warrior, you could potentially just siege down the trading site of your opponent for basically free. And we may, in fact, see that actually come to fruition here. We can see he started to take that treasure. Now, fortunately for Bobabu, he is in the area. Does have vision of this happening, so he is going to perhaps, maybe he's just going to opt for instead going for the food treasure. No, looks like he has realized his opponent is taking this with that sheep walking by. Is going to go for a steal. It's actually very fortunate for him. Oh, and he picks up the XP from killing the wolf as well.
Still in the wound, eh?
Yeah, but that's actually really huge. Just due to the fact that if that Nutka had spawned that close to the trading site for the red player, I'm pretty certain that the trading site would have gone down. Look at the siege attack on that guy.
Yeah, it's very good.
30 siege attack, and that certainly would have been a pretty big deal. In
I mean, it would have at least made him build it defensively if he's planning to rush.
Yeah. Which
I
mean,
he is going up with the messenger again, so.
So it looks like he is going to be trying to apply pressure, and I mean, this matchup doesn't have any presence. Look at the Explorer just sieging
wait.
down
What's going on with Spain here? He's done a 13 out of 10 village up.
Yeah, well, he got that extra vill from down here, and then he did a 12-10, right? So I think he's doing like what we I guess called the Piroshiki build, maybe.
No, it looks like he's just
No,
building defensively
just
in
building
HG.
defensively. Interesting. Oh, look at the War Dogs. Look at the War Dogs. Going to try to...
Nice. Was it close? I
It
didn't
was
see.
very close. It was half... Travois was under half HP.
Yeah.
Really good presence of mind there to do that as well, to force your opponent to put it down in a hurry. Perhaps, we don't know for certain, but perhaps there was... Bobabu had intentions of putting it down aggressively, but that's not going to happen with the War Dogs and the Explorer there now as well. So the early pressure kind of thwarted there by Optimus Prime. Does ship 8 pikes. It looks like he is just 100% like all in to defending his base here early in the game. Does have 8 pikes currently out on the map. Being a little bit annoying with these War Dogs, applying some pressure to the Vills, but as we can currently see, Bobabu really doesn't have anything going for him in his base, so these pikes aren't going to find any cav to deal with. Looks like he is going to pick off the Explorer, but I'm not
sure.
Yeah, I'm not
He's
sure.
gonna have to run, yeah.
With the bears and the Nutka coming in there, going to
These
take
bears
a lot
are
of damage.
beasts.
Yeah, they are
300 HP.
monsters, and they do have 10 hand attack as well, so it's not something you can just forego and ignore. It's quite significant, and this is a really awkward situation for Spain to be in, to be perfectly honest. I mean,
Yeah. It's pretty awkward for both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got every villager on wood right now.
Yeah, and I guess it's kind of come down to the fact that, once again, Bobabu just didn't really hurt that well. Attack. There he goes again. But with the 7 Ana coming out, I don't know that this is going to be the most sustainable kind of rush whatsoever. We do see 6 Rotolero working their way in as the next card. It looks like the heavy infantry is just going to try and get up here and just engage the ranged infantry. But I think with these 2 bears coming back, with the Explorer coming back, the Nutka coming back, he's going to be able to hold this with ease. And then he's just going to run into a situation where he's 24 Vills versus 20. He's kind of killed all of the early game threats. And things just aren't looking that scary for the Iroquois player. Of course, he does have the better follow-up. Looks like Fort Kanye going to come in here as well, going to help clean up some of the remaining infantry. And if I'm Spain right now, I'm scratching my head. I don't really have a way to get to the next stage. I've committed to this very early aggression, and I'm in a pretty bad spot right now if I'm Spain. I don't know what my way forward is from here.
Yeah, it's not looking too good.
Oh no, especially if these 5 cross. I mean, one thing he can't afford to do is lose any. He can't. Oh, and there's the resign.
Okay.
All right. Well.
I mean, he kind of just misread the game there. I think that was the problem.
I think he was just
expecting an all-in rush, I guess.
Yeah, and just put up. But to be fair, like, what does Spain? I mean, Spain should probably just blind FF here, right? And I mean, that's basically.
Yeah, I mean, I would say you drop a wall, get your outpost behind the wall, and just try and age up off of it.
Yeah, I mean, you will not die to the first initial pressure itself. Assuming you heard correctly, you have a defendable coin mine, which he does, and you place your first outpost appropriately, you will not die straight up to the initial pressure. Perhaps you can die to some of the follow-up stuff, but you won't die. You'll get to the third age in an okay state with at least a card to send and enough population room to do
and
so.
Spain do have one of the best defenses. I mean, you've got the dogs, you've got the Minutemen, the Rod shipment,
sure,
the tower in your base. Like, it's not too hard to hold that.
Yep.
I mean, he could have. I mean, you don't have to go this. Like,
this all in with the defense.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't have to do a 13 village up and age of food. Like, you can just play standard and hold this rush.
Yeah. But Bobabu does take a very quick second game once again. Perhaps Optimus Prime expecting, an all-in rush and as a result trying to do something to counter it. But
the funny part about that is Bobabu had every villager on wood and he wasn't even producing villas at that point.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, all that really matters is his economy was significantly better. I mean, the 13 Vil age up really does hamper your economy moving forward, and that's going to be it. It's game number 3 going in Bobabu's favor. So, moving on to game number 4. What map do you reckon for this one?
I reckon we go for something a bit nuts, like
Kamchatka.
that would be alright. What about I like Manchuria.
Manchuria?
Yeah, although yeah, I think that's a good map.
Alright. Bobabu has now won with Euro. maybe that was Optimus Prime's strategy,
Just
right?
tank the win,
Just
tank the game.
tank the game that he's playing the OP sim. Just get it out of the way. Like, you're probably gonna lose to Euro at some point anyways, and be like, okay, like here's Spain, like beat me with and then you like whip out your Japan after that, right? So you don't have to play like Jap versus Euro. Maybe that was all part of the plan. Get Euro out of the way and then proceed to pick Japan and see what your opponent has to say about that.
Yeah, so this should be a more interesting matchup.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see something a little more standard.
We've seen that. We've seen the opposite of standard so far.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, this was one of the matchups that Musket and Black Star played, and I only had time to watch one game before Smackdown today, and that was the one I picked to watch, obviously because it's
Which
a matchup.
game was that? What matchup was it?
This matchup, French.
Oh
versus
right, French Jap. Yeah,
French
French Jap. Yeah.
And I was actually
Yeah,
really
he played it
impressed
very
with how Musket played it. I think he played it so intelligently.
Yeah. So me and Musket had been practicing all week for that series,
Yeah.
and I had played this matchup with him quite a lot, and he had worked up that build order. It's quite
really
smart.
good. Yeah.
It's a good build, yeah.
It has just
it's a
enough units at the start of the game to force the Japanese. Like, it's not like just 5 pikes, right? It's like 10 or 15 pikes and 5 crossbows, so that you have to make some sort of formulated ranged infantry response, and then you follow it up with the 2 Falcons and the big skirmisher mass and stuff like that. It seems
And
really
I
solid.
mean, by the time you get up, there's no way that Jap is going to have enough to just kill you. Like, it's just not possible.
Yeah. And the other big takeaway I had from there is, I mean, I've said this for quite some time. I don't think it's in Japan's best interest to actually follow up European semi-FFs. And the reason why is you always get into that situation where around the 14, 15-minute mark, you have to send cherry orchards in order to continue to gather food, and your opponent sends like a military shipment. And when it comes to like 2 falconets versus cherry orchards, like which one is giving you more value at 15 minutes, it's a no-brainer. Like, anyone can see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough call because it is one of Japan's weaknesses, is being punished whilst they're trying to age.
Yeah, and being punished because they specifically have to send cherry orchards. They don't get this.
I mean, saying that, I do think Black Star he went for the wrong unit composition, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think flaming arrows aren't the best unit,
No.
and like he needed something to deal with skirms more effectively.
Yeah.
He was just getting picked off.
But that being said, we are going to see Japan versus French in a similar fashion as the game we're alluding to. Spawning in the bottom left-hand side of Manchuria, we do have Optimus Prime playing the Japanese civilization, and his opponent spawning in the upper right, Bobabu playing the French civilization. Of course, the talk that we were just having is relevant to this particular match because it is this particular matchup, and we'll see whether or not it unfolds in a similar way, or whether or not either of these players have a different opinion on how this matchup should be played. Personally,
I'm pretty sure they do. Pretty sure they've got a different way of playing it.
As the Japanese player drops down a trading post.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's funny.
Although, to be honest, I've messed around with some trading post shenanigans with Japan as well, and it's not as bad as you may think. I mean, just because trading posts are so cheap now, being 200 wood, it's not inherently bad to just build a trading post like it with any civ in any situation. And I mean, he still has the trading post, he still has the shrine that's going to come down, so he's going to be able to, continue to build villagers and stuff like that, not going to have to sack his economy too much. And I'm curious to see whether or not this villager that's chopping wood is intended to be chopping wood, or whether it's just
it is. I'm pretty sure that's just a little mistake.
I'm just trying to think, like, what can he do with 50 wood that... Well, no, that being said, he has identified another treasure over here. So he's probably just gathering enough for a second shrine or something like that. Certainly doesn't have the resources to be able to drop down a consulate or something like that. And yeah, it looks like he does have... he is going to be able to pick up this treasure, and he is going to be able to build a second shrine. So that's actually a really strong start for Japan. 2 shrines and a trading post. That's going to go a long way.
I'm interested to see what he ships. I'm kind of hoping that he ships the 3 boats here.
Yeah, I think...
Because I mean, Kami wouldn't really make much sense at this point.
No,
300
wood.
Alright.
I guess he's going to drop down a second trading post and a couple of shrines. There could be potentially, a chance that the Japan player takes matters into his own hands here and just plays some sort of like aggressive club rush as well.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see a consulate dropped in the middle of the map or something.
Yeah, that would be, I guess, completely standard with this line of play that he's currently picked. The French,
second TP, of course.
Yeah, second TP. Oh, wow. A third TP as well. Look, he's taking every TP on the map.
I love it.
It's actually pretty smart. I mean, when you think about what the Asian civilizations can do with their explorers, they're not restricted to only a single location on the map with their explorer. They are a little bit weaker individually, but they do have the ability to spread them out. And he's actually going to get a 3 trading post advantage, which... I guess is something that you can't really call bad. I mean, it's definitely a good thing. And at this point, Bobabu probably doesn't have intentions of immediately dropping a second trading post, but it is at least going to provide somewhere awkward that Bobabu is going to have to deal with at some point, right? Like, he's going to have to send units over here to siege down that trading post at some point. And it's kind of a similar concept of spreading out your shrines and making it awkward for your opponent to have to split up his army and figure out where he's going to pressure you. It's a similar tactic, I guess, at that point of just splitting it up. But let's see what Bobabu does here. Haven't seen any sort of forward villager motion or anything like that at this point. Perhaps just going to be doing something a little bit more defensive in his base. We'll have to see how it ends up playing out, but
he's going to wage up quite slowly here, so he's not putting this XP to use anytime soon.
Yeah, certainly not the quickest of age ups, and I think that's kind of to be expected with 300 wood, 1 villager onto Tsugu, having chopped that extra wood. Oh, there goes. Oh, that was actually really fortunate that he got up the shrine. But at the same time, we do see a couple of villagers moving out across the middle of the map, and I wonder if we're going to see a consulate coming down in the middle of the map like you mentioned. He does have the 200 wood to be able to do so right now. I just clicked on the natives just to make sure he wasn't going over there. It looks like he's just going to do some sort of rush, and I'm a bit curious to see what's going to go down over here. These villagers are going a very long way up, and yeah, here does come down the consulate, so it looks like we're going to see some sort of consulate rush.
What are we seeing here as well? We got a church.
Yeah, he's doing the Grenadier FF, isn't he?
Oh, is he? That's quite cool.
Yeah,
Is he though?
I'm not.
He sent wood. I don't think he is.
What else can you make? Oh, it's just Grenadier rushing. Those things cost wood, right? Isn't that what they cost?
You can't. Can you build them in age? Can you do it in age 2?
I think you can. I think there's sets of them that you can make, right? So you can make the first set in age 1 or age 2 rather, and the second set in age 3. And it's 4 in the second age, and then 8 more, and I think you can get a total of 12. So
he doesn't even have the church card, so that's that out the window.
So what is going to come out of the church then?
I have no idea.
So he's just getting it for the upgrades? Certainly not. He's not researching any of the upgrades.
He's not. Nothing in queue. Nothing in improvement.
Did he just accidentally make the church?
Possible. Maybe that was going to be a second Rex, and he just realised. I don't know. I respect the play either way.
Either way, he's got maybe he's just a religious person and he just needs somewhere to pray. Either way, it looks like he's identified the trading post to the north side of his base. Is going to start to siege that with these first couple of pikes, and looks like we do also have the consulate and the barracks established here in the middle portion of the map for Optimus Prime as well. So, going to be able to start applying some forward pressure. He also did ship 300 export as his second card, so a big batch of clubs likely going to be coming out here. And we'll have to see whether this ashy club pressure is going to be enough to actually catch Bobabu off guard. We can see currently right now Bobabu only does have pikes out on the map, likely expecting the Japanese player to be booming pretty hard. And I don't know, like sending 600 wood, it looks like he's just doing Expo pike from his base with a church. I don't know what else to call it. It's Expo pike. I mean, you wouldn't send 700 wood, 4-vil, 600 wood if you weren't going to, like, do some sort of sustained Expo pike play. But it's just Expo pike with a church, and that's all it is.
We've got a stable going down. And, like, he has no idea what the Japanese guy's doing right now.
I think at this point he's just assuming that the Japan player is playing as greedy as possible. And oh, no. Oh, of course. He built a spy. That's what the church is for.
Oh,
he
right.
built a spy.
Okay,
And
he's
hunted down the explorers. That's what he did.
That's smart. That's good.
Yeah.
I just didn't see the spy. That's why I was confused.
Sure. Yeah. I was so hung up in like the doing something aggressive in nature with it that I didn't like really even consider it. But either way, there are a lot of Ashigaru and a lot of clubs pushing their way across the base into the base of the French player here, and this is going to get awkward and hurry. We can see Bobabu has slammed down a whole bunch of musketeers to be able to try and formulate some sort of response here, but he's also in a situation where he doesn't have the resources to call Minutemen. There he does have it. They have been called.
He's also popped as well, right?
Yeah, and
the Japanese player.
Yeah, and this could be a situation where we're going to see another one of these crazy games. Fighting has begun. CDBs are out here in the mix. Minutemen have been called, going to be able to deal with these clubs and these Ashies fairly well. We can see some of the muskets still remaining. A couple more Ashigaru and Q likely going to be working their way across the map, but I think Bobabu's just got enough to hold this. And at this point, not only, I mean, he's holding in his base, but he's also sieging down to Teshuga's Shrine as well. And if that goes down and the base gets held, the pressure gets held of Optimus Prime, all of a sudden the Japan player is going to find himself in.
I think that's honestly just game.
Yep,
yeah.
He calls it. GG has been typed. Optimus Prime has resigned. Bobabu taking a game number 2. I wonder how important that spy actually was. I didn't notice it early enough on to see whether or not it...
I mean, after looking, both his explorers are on the floor, so it must have worked out.
Yeah, I mean, certainly it did kill them, but I mean, it's not like he was...
It too hits them as well. It's pretty crazy.
He wasn't relying on Shrine Booming, though, to be his main focus in the game. He wasn't like
that actually came back to hurt him because he hadn't shrine boomed. He got housed so early.
Yeah, that's true. And with the aggressive nature of his build as well, sending 5 Ashy, and making the clubs from the forward consulate as well.
I want to check the XP tab. So look. I mean, that was an interesting build. I feel like that could have done so much more, that build, with the free TPs in Age 1.
Yeah, certainly the follow-up could have been a little bit better. The one thing we do also have to consider, though, is how slowly he aged up. I mean,
exactly.
He
needed to build that wonder with 4 vills or something.
Yeah, he gave the French player a lot of time to just kind of run around the map and siege stuff down with the pikes before the relevant pressure ever got to the base. And by the time the pressure had gotten to the base, 700 wood, 600 wood, 4 CDB had all been sent, and at that point, French's economy is really, really strong. So it probably needs to come a little bit more aggressively. I think perhaps the third trading site was a bit overkill. He could have started his consulate much earlier and maybe in a little bit more of an aggressively postured position as a result of that. It certainly is something to consider, though, moving forward. I don't know that it's... I don't know if it's like the most... explored thing of all time, really. Japanese playing with trading posts.
Sorry, I was just reading a screenshot of something. Alright. What map we going for next?
I don't know. Which game do you want next? Or which map do you want next?
Let's have a look. I don't really mind. I suppose. How about Tibet?
Alright. No. Tibet next. No
Oh,
trouble.
he sent 300 wood 3 times? What?
Really?
That can't be.
That can't be true.
Surely not. That's just not possible.
Maybe he sent it twice, but I don't.
Yeah, twice is possible, but
I don't
3
think
times.
yeah.
I don't think you could fit that in time.
This guy with some Russian name just messaged me and said, "Can you for once get some good people to play? At least get some better casters. The current ones are horrible."
Unlucky.
I love some of the comments as well in the chat. One guy says, Zuta's internet connection is enviable. I have a screenshot of his speed test framed and hung up over my sex dungeon.
What is your speed?
I don't know, it's like 125 down or something like that.
Oh man, mine owns that. I've got about 160 down, but only about 10 upload.
Yeah, I've got like I don't know, 15 up or something like that. It's not.
But my connection is literally the best you can get in the UK.
Yeah.
As like a home user.
Yeah, and I mean, 125 KB and not KB, MB.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. Pretty solid. Yeah, the one I mean, with lag in this game, the issue with this game, and this is coming from an engineering point of view, is just the way that the game is networked is peer-to-peer, and so the real issue with lag is however far apart your people are spread, and then whoever has the weakest connection of the bunch, those are going to be the two largest factors in determining whether or not the game lags. So if you have one player that, you know, is either from a really far away spot, so say for example 3 European players and 1 American player, such as myself, you're gonna have lag just because the American connection is so much further away from the other ones that sending those packets is going to take time. I mean, distance is a real thing, and it's not something that can just be ignored.
Yep. Yeah, it really sucks. It sucks that it's a player-to-player connection.
Yeah, and someday, hopefully, if there is a new Age of Empires game, we'll be in a situation where we'll have, you know, server-based play.
What was Age of Empires Online? Was that player-to-player as well?
Yes, I believe the connections were player-to-player. They just basically recycled all the Age of Empires 3 networking code, I'm pretty sure.
As little effort as possible.
Yeah. But, loading into game number 5?
Yep, 4. No, it's 5, sorry.
It's 5.
It's 3-1 to Bobabu at the moment.
So currently, up 3 games to 1. In the decider here in this best of 7, Bobabu playing the Sioux civilization in the upper right-hand side of Tibet. His opponent also playing the Sioux
he's
civilization.
AFK. We have to restart this.
Yeah, he most definitely is. He most definitely is. Look at his villagers just standing there in a little powwow.
I mean, at first I thought it was one of his strats. But
he's wowed us with some of his strategical choices so far today, so...
I'm pretty sure that one would top it though.
Yeah. The AFK vills into... He had clicked in. I mean, I don't know. What's up with everyone trolling Garja? I don't get it. It's just some guy in chat randomly with the name Garja the Baboon. Like, I don't get it.
I think the reason people troll Garja is because he bites. He nibbles
bites.
on them flames. Right, so where he's.
Here we go. Bobabu has invited me to his game.
Yeah, I'm in a.
Looks like Optimus Prime is still battling it out in the previous game.
Yeah. Why are my wheels not moving?
Maybe he's just gonna chalk it up as a victory. 3 games to 2. Maybe that was part of his plan.
Yeah.
Picked up another quick win. And take a moment to go over the tournament bracket here while we have a little bit of downtime, just because that is a thing currently going on. The Age of Empires 3 Summer Championship on ESOC. Currently, the bracket looks a little something like this. I'm going to drag it over onto my screen. Black Star losing in, I guess, somewhat of a controversial style earlier, I believe today. Well, yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
But Badsby picking up the win there, winning 3 games to 2. So he does find himself moving forward to the semifinal, where he will meet the winner of Kinesi versus Acer Game 09. Which
that's going to be a series for the ages.
That is going to be a battle for the ages. I really wonder what Acer Game will do in that matchup. Like,
I think his main strategy is to just flame the opponent, try and wear him down that way.
Wear him down with words, and and then
mentally dismantle him,
and then pick up the win that way. Similarly, we did have Gungun beating Kiljardi 3 games to 2 earlier as well. So Gungun
was quite a big upset.
I was honestly expecting Kiljardi to win that, but Gungun picking up the games. Will be playing Fard in one of the semifinals, which I think
Fard also upsetting by beating Garja in the previous round.
Yeah, so a couple of wild cards there. I don't really know how to call that match because I think I don't. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really seen much of either of them. It's hard to predict. From what I saw in the previous round, I would say it'd be a pretty good game.
Yeah, I mean, Fard was always one of those guys. He's always been like PR 35, but I just didn't ever consider him. And then randomly he just shows up and plays really well. So it'll be interesting to see. And then of course you're playing Mito in the other.
So we're actually going to be playing next Saturday at 1 hour before Smackdown usually starts, so you could potentially stream that.
Yeah, we'll probably just do that like what we did with Soldier versus Mito game. We'll probably just make that the Smackdown series next week and just start a little bit early. But so those are the remaining matches. Looking forward to that. I think we've got some pretty good games lined up. Looks like everything is ready. Our players are back in here. Optimus Prime has returned. And looks like we're going to get this 5th game underway here. Both players clicked in as Sue. FFA has been checked. And we are ready to go. Take 2 on game number 5 between Bobabu and Optimus Prime. As I mentioned, Bobabu is currently up 3 games to 1. This is the deciding match for him. Should he win, we'll take this series 4 games to 1. Of course, Optimus Prime still has the opportunity to bring it back. Does need to win 3 more games, though, in order to win this best of 7. Here we go. The map is going to be Tibet. It is going to be a Sumir, which everyone is so very, very fond of.
Yeah. Set to see some club action here, hopefully.
You think so?
I mean, that seems to be what people are doing nowadays, really? Especially on a small map, like a small travel distance map.
Sure.
It can work, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, but your second hunt's pretty far as well.
That used to be the norm as well. I mean, back in Fan Patch days, and even before that, in this kind of a Sumir, that people would do some sort of club war hot rush. But Either way, spawning in the upper right-hand side of the map of Tibet, we do have Bobabu playing Sioux, and his opponent, Optimus Prime, also piloting the Sioux civilization, spawning in the red color down here in the bottom left. Looks like both players running about the map with their explorer as quickly as possible.
They're juking it out early.
Yeah, we got a bit of a battle going on here. I hate the Sioux war chief. They're like, he's so good. Like he's the
he's very
speed
good.
he moves at is just ridiculous.
So, I mean, Sue against any other Civ, like you just automatically win the treasure war.
Yeah, it's so brutal how hard you win the treasure war as well. That guy is just so fast. What is his base speed? It's like 7.2 or something like that, right?
It's
like,
really quick. I'm not sure. I mean, I'll change the UI quickly and I'll tell you.
It's ridiculously fast. Just like watching him run around the map is.
So, what does it say? Oh wait, it won't let me change the UI because I've got the custom UI.
Yeah. But either way, it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a scrap over some of these tigers here to start off. Bobabu did pick up one tiger, but he's also going to lose it. And now I don't think... Oh, he does have his convert back up. Bobabu going to run in, and he's going to snipe it as well. And if, as you mentioned, we get into a situation where both players are going to be club rushing, that 85 wood all of a sudden becomes super relevant into establishing your war hut earlier on in the game, getting the better positioning with it and stuff like that. So we'll have to see whether or not that becomes a factor.
7.76 speed.
Holy crap, it's so fast. Like
yeah, it's very quick.
7.76. Of course, he does also passively boost the speed of all units around him as well. So not only is he good at just being fast and moving around the map early in the game, but then when he's piloting raids around the map as well, also becomes very annoying. And ooh, Optimus Prime having a bit of an issue with his hunts here early in the game, which is going to cause a bit of issue. We can see 2 of the yaks do go down, and I guess he just wants to age up as quickly as possible here, and he's going to try and apply some pressure across the middle of the map. But either way, against Sioux, the last thing you really want is to have your hunts this exposed out in the middle of the map. We do see that he does, well, I guess he's not going to quite have enough food to age up, does have one more villager in queue, but behind this, Bobabu going to be having a very easy time aging up as well, and just goes to show how important actually keeping your resources close to your town center is. Like, look at the absolute insane difference. Bobabu didn't eat any EX, and as a result, aging at the same time, despite the fact that his opponent ate quite a few yaks. So it looks like a little bit of control being tried to get back here in terms of this hunt, but exposed villagers against Sioux.
I think what happened. I think he didn't realize it was a herdable hunt, possibly.
That could happen. Yeah, I could see that happening. Maybe he just hasn't played this map very much. Certainly, I don't think he was in the tournament. So if he hadn't played this map, maybe that could be something that we have to consider, is that he's just not used to the map, and it looks like an Asian map. And oh, what the hell?
He killed I think he shift clicked it and it didn't work, and he just ran over the other side of the map.
That's a bit unfortunate, isn't it?
He's probably realizing, why can I not keep my market upgrades? Where's my wood at?
Where's my wood? Man, it seems like I'm having to chop a lot of wood. I could have. Now, and imagine when Optimus Prime, if he swings over there, like what he's gonna think. Like there's just a 90 wood treasure with no guardians by it. Looks like the map bugged in my favor. Guess I'm just gonna pick it up. But either way, both players are quickly approaching the second age. Bobabu is there, and I'm curious to see if, as you mentioned, we're gonna see some sort of shenanigans here with war huts in the middle of the map or anything like that.
It doesn't look like it.
It doesn't look like it. It just looks like we're going to see some sort of stable play. We can see corral does go down for Optimus Prime. No tell just yet. Yep, there's the corral as well for Bobabu. So it looks like both players just opting for stable play at this point. 2 corrals actually coming down for Optimus Prime. So likely going to be seeing 700 coin as his first card here in the second age. And I think we'll just see a big bow rider spam from him. And I've always thought this is a bit all in, but perhaps it's okay in a mirror,
Yeah,
particularly.
it's fine. Yeah, you can really only get away with it in a mirror.
Yeah, where I mean, having the superior mass of bull riders really early on in the mirror is going to be, really. I mean, it's just like any mirror, right? If you're doing similar strategies and you just have more of the military unit, you're just going to be able to deny the other opponent, your opponent.
And it's kind of, I guess it's like magnified how like important it is in this matchup. Like if you can kill his bow riders and idle his vills, that's game.
Yeah, there's not a lot of economic follow-up here. Looks like Optimus Prime does have a lot of resources there. He's finally spending some. I was wondering if like just wasn't going to make any stuff, but there do come out the first 5 bow riders. Looks like he's going to get another 3, maybe 4 out of the other corral. Similarly, though, on the other side of the map, it looks like we do have 5 bull riders in queue for Bobabu, and he also has a war hut up as well. Plus, on top of this, he does have quite a few yaks underneath his town center, and his herding has been significantly better than his opponent's as well. So, things looking honestly probably okay for Bobabu. I don't know that these first bow riders are really going to be able to do that much. Although
that war hut gets up.
Yeah. Oh, he pulled the bill off it.
Would it? Oh man.
Pulled the bill off it.
Well, it was like half a second away from finishing.
Yeah, it was very, very close. And now he may get into a situation where he actually loses it. These bow riders are applying a lot of pressure to it, and it does go down, which is going to cause issue here. We can see only 5 bow riders out currently for Bobabu, and now the bow rider mass of Optimus Prime working its way underneath the town center here to come out. 5 more bow riders. They're going to get kind of trapped in here. The villagers being popped out, the animals coming in to get into the fray as well, and it's just going to be an absolute cluster here underneath Bobabu's town center. Both war chiefs, it looks like, are going to go down in this fray. But on top of all this, I think Optimus Prime losing quite a few of his bow riders, and everything looking to be a-okay here for Bobabu. I think when the dust settles, sure, he's idled his town center a little bit, but he's going to have bow riders remaining. He has eliminated all of his opponent's bow riders, and now this is the point where you mentioned this magnified instance of coming out ahead on the bow rider race. The less all-in you build, and now there's the very dark realization that Optimus Prime has to try and defend something like this with significantly fewer bow riders, which is going to be very, very difficult to do.
And the other thing as well is, the 2 stables are only really effective in that first batch.
Yeah, bow riders are not a cheap unit.
Yeah, you're not going to be training batches of 10 every time anymore.
Yep. 7 clubs do come out for Optimus Prime. Similarly, 6 Set and Bows have arrived as well for Bobabu, so both players committing to this second age play. And at this point, certainly you have to commit to this age 2 play. Also important probably to note is that Bobabu does have a trading site on the back of this, so definitely going to have a stronger economy in that regard. And now that these trades are going to continue to start ramping up, the Set and Bow is definitely going to be good here to be able to apply a little bit more pressure to the bow riders. And Bobabu just looking like he's in a pretty good spot here, doing a lot of damage, pushing back Optimus into his base. And Optimus in a really awkward situation here, honestly. His villagers are just so exposed. It feels like he has to fight in order to not have them, be under significant pressure. But at the same time, can he really afford to continue to fight with the weaker economy, down 3 vills, and no trading posts? And the answer is probably no. And I don't know. It's going to be really tough to navigate. Like, what can he do here to try and even things up?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. He needs to go in with these units. He needs to make use of them clubs and settings that he shipped right now.
Yeah. Oh, well, certainly.
This is it.
This is it. This is a chance. Certainly, if he could have, if he can get these bow riders snared here or trapped in some way before the reinforcements come, this will be his best chance. We can see more bow riders coming in here for Bobabu. They do get a little bit caught out. Some more of the bow riders are also going down, and now with the axe riders coming in, 2 dog soldiers coming in as well from the other side.
Where are the dog soldiers? I can't see them anymore.
Yeah, where are they? They must be like in some. Oh, they're raiding down here. They're getting in a huge raid.
Oh, right, okay.
But at the same time, he's losing a lot of stuff as well. He's lost a lot of his Set and Bows. He's losing a lot of his military presence, and despite the fact that he is getting a big raid in down here, well, I don't know that this raid can actually. I was going to say maybe this raid isn't as important because of the fact that he's losing a lot of military units, but in fact. I think
he's kind of stabilizing.
He's stabilizing okay. He still has a fairly decent number of bull riders left alive, using his villagers to tank some of this damage here, which he can certainly afford to do due to the fact that he's got a
nice
big
4x rider pop right there.
Yeah, and I think that's going to do it. I think that's going to seal the deal. Optimus Prime has indeed resigned. GG called, and winning the Smackdown 4-1. Bobabu in
Smackdown King.
The Smackdown King, the undefeated Smackdown King. Winning 4-1, so I'm noob, sorry.
Yeah, Optimus he didn't need to commit to that fight under the TC. That was his main mistake.
Yeah.
He could have just contained him. He didn't ever have to fight the army.
Yeah, certainly, as you mentioned. I mean, take a look at the map remaining here. Look at the hunts and how spread out Bobabu is. At this point, I mean, he did a great job of denying the war hut. He killed the war hut, which arguably probably could have gone up, but
yeah,
despite the fact it didn't go up, that's the important thing.
So it's just little things like these that kind of separate the sort of the good players from the great players.
Yeah,
like like say that was Ryan. Like Ryan would have known to finish that war hut. He would have checked the HP and just finished it quickly, and it would have got up and it wouldn't have been sieged down.
Yep. And then you stabilize off that really easily.
Exactly. I mean, if that war hut gets up, I'm pretty sure that would again make him not commit to the fight, and then you've secured your hunt.
Yep.
You wouldn't have to idle all your builds.
Your economy's ahead. I mean, you're in a great position. You've got a market. Everything's a-okay.
Market and a TP, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But regardless, Bobabu does pick up the game, does get the win. Showing that he is probably at this point just the better player. As you mentioned, I think both players do have some sort of a team game background, which team game skill and 1v1 skill are a very different thing as well.
Yeah, it definitely shows in their builds.
Yeah, their builds just aren't very crisp.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little bit of a head scratcher.
Yeah.
A little bit of a head scratcher, but that's going to do it for this best of 7.